Hello, Sailor. I'm Dale Winton. Welcome back to Tyrrell Time. Why don't we have a little bit of a story time before we get into this? Let me have a sip of my chilled coffee. Sophisticated. And it's actually chilled coffee. It's not coffee that I've just made and let go cold, just to make sure that you don't mistake me for some kind of feckless tramp. Um, so I'm still having a little bit of techie issues here and there with the frame rate dropping while recording and not being able to get it to stop. I'm hoping it doesn't affect us too much. Um, However, I have a theory. I had a bit of a thought this morning. I want to run it by you all. So, I was talking to someone that I work with, and we were reminiscing about. I mean, there's probably people like this in your hometown. You know, there's always the guy in the pub or the bar, the one who's sort of been in prison, he's a bit dangerous, and everyone kind of says, oh, stay away from him, he's dangerous. You see, I have a theory that he's not dangerous at all. He's just impulsive. The genuinely dangerously unstable and sadistic and masochistic people out there are actually women between the ages of 19 and 35. And I base this on a very solid observation. You're going to like my science here. So every morning when I'm commuting to work, you get to know the people around you, right? And you wait with the same people at the bus stop, and it's the same people on the bus every day. And there's quite a lot of women on my way to work. And I've noticed a pattern that they all seem to be carrying yoga mats. And I saw one of them the other day who had her breakfast on the bus. I sat opposite me, and she takes it out of a bag, and it's a yogurt, which you think, okay, maybe not so bad. But then I notice it's a soy yogurt, and even worse than that, it's an unflavoured soy yogurt, but not vanilla, no flavour. And then it realised, because I work with women like this, if you go out and smash a bottle and then stab someone in the face with it, that's kind of like an impulsive act of the moment. But to methodically and determinedly get up every morning early, spend 2 hours getting ready to go to work, probably in a job you hate, with nothing but an unflavoured soy yogurt to look forward to, and then immediately dash off to a hot yoga class after work, you are dangerously unhinged. I mean, that's not someone to fuck with, is it, really? I mean, anyone can go out smashing bottles and injecting heroin into their balls, but to actually do that to yourself on purpose every day and not crack, that speaks to something totally unhinged. Anyway, that's enough science time. Now it's Tyrrell time. We are due to run, if my frame rate will allow, the Monaco Grand Prix. And things have been looking very much up. We have a significant cash injection coming next year, which means next year is going to be the fun season, the one where we get to crank up the volume a bit, because as you will note, our car is looking very stylish in the Red Bull colours. That means we have at least 19 million a season coming in for the next 3 years, which is more than double our annual budget of the last 2 years. So, nice one. Plus, we've signed some extra sponsors, so we've actually got 23.2 million coming in. In terms of further deals, we're still in talks with Mugen Honda. They're stalling. I thought this deal would have been tied up sooner, but our poor performance this year and the fact we're not running any hospitality is going to hurt. I had a really interesting discussion actually with a viewer by email, and it did occur to me during this conversation that hospitality actually seems to be more about keeping your current sponsors happy than it is about recruiting new ones. Because you will note when you look at your list of sponsors here, this is how they feel about you. And as you can see, Mugen Honda, Bridgestone, not liking us very much. Why, you might ask? Well, because they're not getting anything out of the deal. We are not taking them to the Grand Prix. However, Cinderella shall go to the ball. We are going to have ourselves a wee date night we're going to run the shoddiest, crappiest, most budgety EasyJet experience at Monaco for our key sponsors, in the hope that it improves the situation. It's not, I suspect, but Bridgestone, Mugen Honda, and Mobil will all be coming to Monaco courtesy of us, and we have to hope it just doesn't fuck our budget too hard. Meanwhile, in the news, McLaren have signed a works deal with Mercedes. Ferrari had 2 cars in top 6. Alberto Marini will be driving for Jordan, and Sauber have re-signed Jean Alesi. Ricardo Rosset will be going to Minardi with all his Brazilian monies, and Benetton have signed Rory Byrne. Sponsors. We signed Osamu Goto as our new Japanesey chief designer. He was also talking to Williams apparently, so I guess we picked him up just at the right time. He was a fiddly fish to land, though. Excuse me. Looking into next year's car, progress is starting to pick up a little bit. Really need to fill this bar. Ideally, the top 2 would be good, but we will see. No progress on anything else because we really have to focus on getting a car that's better than this year's. This year's car is the pits. So, time to bring the cars up to some form of good condition, at least the best condition we can cobble together in a lumberyard. No repairs to do, quite a bit of wear on car 2 though. Fortunately, it will leave us with 1 extra spare part, which always makes me happy. Nothing warms my cockles quite the same way. Everything else is in place. We just have to prepare ourselves for the fact we're going to be a little bit less profitable this Grand Prix. I do wonder actually how much is it going to cost us, this hospitality lark? 124,000, 172, 290. I might just as a one-off. Don't shout at me. I really want, particularly the work deal with Mobil 1. So we need to make friends. We need to make friends. And it's the only hospitality we'll run this year, promise. Okay, let's see what we can achieve. 26 degrees for quali. Not really sure how that works with our car because our car very rarely finishes. Not enough to stop us being 17th and 18th, although we do out-qualify both Prosts and both Benettons, so there is a little something to be happy about. Eddie Irvine takes another pole position for Arrows. He's been flying in qualifying this year. I don't even know what engine the Arrows are running. Refreshing cold coffee. Damon Hill and Johnny Newhouse, quite the dynamic duo for Ferrari, lining up 2nd and 3rd. Olivier Panis in the Jordan takes P4. Hakkinen and Coulthard round out your top 6. 25 degrees and dry for race day here in Monaco. Where to stop him? Don't crash on me, game. Thanks. You guys don't see this. I've been watching the videos back and you really don't see it, but sometimes I have like this little mini heart attack because the frame counter just drops to 0 or to 1, and sometimes the screen flickers, and that's usually a sign it's going to crash to desktop because it's very, very unstable. No points, but Eddie Irvine manages to convert his pole position into a win. Good job for him. Damon Hill holds on for 2nd as well, but Pedro Diniz in the McLaren flying up the field takes P3. Double points finish for Arrows, McLaren and Ferrari, so lots to be happy about for those guys. Minardi finishing just outside the points with Rosset and Trulli back to back. They're running works Ferrari power, so you'd expect them to get a good result. Quite a lot of attrition though. Takagi also out due to an accident, hopefully not a big one because we don't have the money. Let's see how much we've made or lost. But Eddie Irvine is currently your driver's champion for Arrows. 36 points to Damon Hill's 30. And Ferrari are top of the constructors pile. Arrows are in second, a mere 5 points behind. Oh, we still made a profit. That's good news indeed. We did make a profit. Excellente. And now you see we're a little bit friendlier with Mugen Honda. So good job indeed. It was worth it. And we made a little progress there. Not enough, but we made a little bit. And we made a little bit with Mobile One. That work steel seems like it's a long way away, though. We're going to have to do a lot more buttering up, I suspect. Given that we're still profitable, but it's a flyaway race now, I'm not sure we really want to... I don't know. I don't know what to do. Let's see what else is going on, though. Ferrari, you've got a works contract with Mercedes-Benz. That'll be awkward to explain in the board meeting. Williams have a works deal with Ford. Anything else? Anything else? Yeah, Nakano and Tora Takagi have gone to the press saying they're unhappy in the team. Well, you know what? Tough shit. Williams have signed John Fellows. That's a good signing. Heinz-Harald Frentzen will be moving to Ferrari. That means he's displacing either Damon Hill or Johnny Newhouse. Nigel Stepney have signed to Stewart. That's a bit of a coup. And yeah, nothing else. Any contracts to sign? Any contracts? Are we talking to anyone? Oh, we were. Who were we talking to? I saw you, little question mark. Oh, excellent. Magneti Morelli, 2-season deal for 1.2 million. Smashing. And that gives us an extra 20% to play with. That's going all in on the key deals, I think. Because I really want to land these. I very much want to land them. Let's see. See, it's actually kind of important that we get the partnership deal with Bridgestone as well, because it's a 2-season deal and we don't really want to be a customer for 2 more seasons. Kind of sad that we're only getting a 1-season deal from Mugen Honda, but now we've begun to woo them a little bit, it might be easier to get longer and better deals from them in future. Really, if we were playing this without the restriction, having seen that, I would have moved to a different engine supplier. I might even have gone to Mechachrome or Hart just for 1 season. The Mechachrome engines aren't actually that bad. Do you know what I was really hoping for in this playthrough, though? That Toyota would enter. It's quite a rare event, but Toyota and Renault can both enter, as can Michelin for tyres and Esso for fuel. It's a rare event, but they can happen. And sometimes engine suppliers can also drop out. And that hasn't happened in any of my playthroughs that I've done on YouTube, which really sucks. Anywho, why don't we press on before the game crashes on me? Spare parts first. And we need to give a quick checkup on the design of next year's car. Get our priorities in order. 2001 car. So nearly full. So nearly full. Come on, get full. Fucker. Although quite a big jump in efficiency, actually. And speaking of efficiency, are there any designers to hire? There are some designers to hire. Let's just fill up the design department. There's also some commercial bods to sign. That always makes me happy. Now you may be wondering, Zero, why did you fire a good worker there to hire the excellent worker instead of firing one of your 15 apprentices? The reason is that one of them is a star worker. And that means he produces like an excellent worker, but we only pay him 15 grand instead of 75 grand. And if we fired someone, he'd be the first to go, because the game is very, very cruel. There's more construction staff as well. Ooh, our cup runneth over. We've got another star worker in this department too. Things are looking up over here, aren't they? It is a little fun. Right, we've got damage. I'm going to leave the car damaged. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to leave it worn. Something else that's never happened, actually, in my playthroughs here is drivers getting injured in accidents. That absolutely can happen. And in that case, your reserve driver steps up. And I was kind of hoping that would happen because we'd still get the money from one of these two clowns, but we'd give Tanaka a chance to boost his stats ahead of taking a race seat. But hey ho. Right, cars are repaired, sponsors are being sponsored. We've got a new Mugen Honda unit with more rigidity. Thanks, guys. That's definitely what we needed. Oh, we've got a new soft compound. Wow, the soft compound's actually really quite good. It's not great for getting up to temperature. I won't run them both on the softs just yet. Let's try and get a feel for, excuse me, how they perform. But it is nice that we got some upgrades. I really didn't expect any upgrades in this case. 17 degrees and cloudy for quali. How do we do? 21 and 22. That sucks. That really does suck. This is a terrible car. Mika Hakkinen takes pole position for Williams ahead of perennial pole slitter Eddie Irvine's Arrows. Panis lines up third for Jordan, good qualifying for him. Newhouse and Damon Hill 4-5 ahead of Salo. 20 degrees, cloudy with a strong wind in Canada for your race. We will again be one-stopping Mr. TT. Lap 35 will bring him in. He'll have clean tyres all the way. Meanwhile, we will run scrubbed tyres on the first stint for Shinji Nakano. P14 and P16, 2 laps down, but the cars do finish, which is something. It's a thing. Takagi getting ahead of Ralf Schumacher's Prost at least. Meanwhile, up in points land, Mika Hakkinen takes the win for Williams. David Coulthard second for McLaren. Johnny Newhouse third for Ferrari. Tuero for Williams is fourth. Fifth, Pedro Diniz for McLaren, and sixth, Mika Salo for Arrows. Eddie Irvine having a bit of a dire race there, dropping from second to seventh. It's very, very tight, though, between Williams, McLaren, Ferrari, and Arrows. It's very entertaining to see it play out. Irvine is still your World Championship leader, though, 6 points clear of Damon Hill. Meanwhile, it's all to play for in the Constructors. Ferrari are number one, but they're 8 points clear of second position, and that's tied between 3 teams equally. Williams, McLaren, and Arrows all on 40 points apiece. This is one of the best seasons ever. That's awesome. This will be one for the history books. Right. Honda, give us a deal. No. Okay, fine. No progress on any of our deals. That sucks. That really does suck. And yeah, we've got nothing else to do now except wait and talk to these guys more and more, try and get them on board somehow. Yeah, Bridgestone are busy, they will not talk to us, so we'll bring along Red Bull. Reason being, we want them to give us a guarantee on the money for next year, and we want to start that relationship off in the best possible way. Can I hire some more designers? That's good news. Let's take a look at design, because this was our deadline for moving the design stage on. And it is full, good. So then we've got rounds 9 and 10, 11 and 12, 13, 14, then 2 rounds to build cars. Excellent. No testing, not allowed no testing. I could run a cheeky test, actually. Just for setup points. But actually, no. Should be careful with the money. We don't really have any backup options if things were to go amiss. Still suffering quite badly from inefficiency, but that's going to improve hopefully next year with morale generally. Didn't put much wear on the cars this Grand Prix, so that's also good news. I'm paranoid that I'm missing something. I'm still going to carry on with hospitality because it's actually not setting us back that much, really. In fact, we can make it even cheaper since we're at Magny-Cours and apparently it's a shithole. I'm not going to repair the cars. I'm going to save the spare parts, sorry. Don't have any spare parts. Points. Jesus Christ, it's been a long day. I'm going to run both cars on the new softs here because I am. 27 degrees, very dry, strong wind in France. 17th and 18th. That means we are ahead of both Stewarts, one of the Benettons, and a Prost. Pretty good. It's better than anticipated. Let's see how we do in the race, though. I'm going to try Takagi on fresh tyres, and then we're going to run Nakano on scrubbed for his first stint. And Nakano gets ahead of Takagi. Both finished 2 laps down, but P11 and P12 could have been worse. Eddie Irvine takes the win for Arrows, extending his lead. Salo also in the points for Arrows, actually, in P6. And then Ferrari and McLaren have both cars in the points. This means Williams slip out of contention a little bit. Irvine continues to be your points leader, 46 to Damon Hill's 34. And in the Constructors, Ferrari are still ahead, 58 points, but Arrows catching them up on 51. McLaren set on 45, Williams on 40. Super. Right, quick check for deals. Any deals? Any deals, Gov? I'm going to use the TV Advantage on Mobile 1. Otherwise, we're just waiting for that guarantee now for the money for next year. Okay, you guys take very good care of yourselves. We will speak again later this week and, of course, at the weekend. F1 2019 Career Mode will be returning very soon. I decided the best thing to do was to play through a few seasons, get the boring stuff out of the way, and then try and find, a good difficulty level and have the grid mixed up with the teams and the drivers having a chance to move around a bit. So we're currently 3 seasons in. I'm going to finish the 3rd season, and then we're going to pick it up for season 4, where hopefully I'm in a position to put a shot for the driver's title, but one that's not going to be a simple walkthrough. I want a bit of challenge and for you guys to actually see some racing. So hope that sounds interesting. I will be on stream at some point. Otherwise, have yourselves a very excellent end to the week. Bye-bye.